All right, we're live now. Welcome to the Real Crusades History live stream. Tonight's stream is going to be kind of all about talking about wrapping up the Knights of the Cross project, the film project that Austin Kelly and I endeavored on quite a few years ago. I guess it's been a minute.
Been 5 years. It's okay.
It's crazy to think that it's been that long, but anyway, I'm as I just mentioned, I'm here with Austin Kelly from Christian Channel. So Austin, how's it going, man?
Great. I'm excited to finally wrap up Knights of the Cross, the TV miniseries. It's been a very fun adventure, and we're excited that we're wrapping up the project, the crowdfund, November 15th of 2025, and ready to distribute and stream on christianchannel.com December 28th, right after Christmas. So after that, it'll probably be on bigger streaming platforms. But for now, helping us out, subscribing to Christian Channel, that's where you could find us first.
All right, great. So yeah, it's it's crazy to think of all the crazy stuff we've done to make this show, Austin. But yeah, I mean, we ended up with 2 episodes. We got episode 1, episode 2. Episode 2 is, as I understand it, we're going to watch some clips from it this evening. Austin, is it available for people to watch in full right now? Is that what's going on?
Correct. Yeah. Right now we have available the early version. So right now we're crowdfunding just to beef up some of the VFX. The good news is we raised $42,000, which is amazing. Our goal is 50. So the cool thing about our crowdfund, as everyone probably knows, is if you crowdfund more than $149, you get your name featured on the ending credits. So starting November 15th, we're closing that crowdfund and we're locking in the names, and our editors could go in and do some awesome VFX to improve the show. But yes, to answer your question, Jay, it's currently available for early streaming on christianchannel.com.
Okay. And yeah, I have that linked in the description down below, guys, if you want to check that out. If you want to contribute to the last stretch of the crowdfund, that is down there too. And then also the link to check out the episode as it is now. And yeah, that's down there so you guys can check it out. But yeah, it's again, yeah, it's been like quite the experience. It's definitely been a learning experience. There's a lot of really cool stuff we did working on this. Just the journey of gathering together wardrobe and creating kind of some of these scenes and whatnot has just been really cool. And so we're wrapping up this particular project. I do feel like it's something that I would maybe want to try doing again someday, maybe a little bit older and wiser. And I think we took on just a huge project, and I'm sure in some ways it was kind of almost beyond the resources that we really had to create, and yet we did come through with a finished product, a couple of episodes. So I feel really positively about what we were able to achieve on basically a shoestring budget. And I will say a huge thank you to everybody who contributed. Obviously it was a labor of love, and there's even a couple of people in the chat I'm seeing right now who I want to do a shout out to, like this guy in particular, Sam, who you'll remember Austin on episode 1. He really came through and was a big part of that. So thank you, Sam. Thanks to a lot of people who were involved. So that's pretty awesome. So what are you thinking, Austin, as we kind of come to this?
I can only have one person in mind I could thank. Obviously yourself and all your fans. One man in particular, Andrew Bailey, who's out there. Andrew has, he was in episode 2. He was a pivotal character. So, he contributed such a big amount for us, and it was a lot for him, right? So he actually got to drive in and be a part of episode 2. And, as we were writing the story of the show, he's actually one of the main pivotal characters for episode 2. So I got a huge thank you for that, for Andrew Bailey and for his family for pulling through. Really a shoestring budget, but, by the graces of God, everything pulled through. And now we're ready to showcase the show to everyone else.
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to kind of emphasize, though, that, after doing this, we are kind of bringing a close to this particular project, but this is something that I could see myself wanting to tackle again someday, when the time is right and when, we have things kind of lined up correctly, that it's definitely, maybe I got the bug or something, but anyway, this helmet will someday be in, this AI thing is messing up. Let's see. I want to show this. This helmet was a gift from a good friend of the channel. Somebody who's been doing a lot for the Rogue Crusades History channel right now. And that is the Kaiser of History, as he calls himself. So I just want to say, he knows who he is. Just want to say thanks so much. But yeah, we're going to try this on here. There we go. You guys can see it. It's a Norman helmet. It's an 11th century Norman helmet. So there we go. But okay. I want to show a couple of clips from the show tonight. So I picked out a couple of things that I thought looked in particular cool. So
well, you have to have the popcorn out. You need your popcorn, you need your Coca-Cola, and just kidding.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. So, okay. So let's check out a couple of clips here, and you guys can let us know what you think. So here we go. Make sure I'm doing this right.
Always outnumbered, short on men, short on food, but strengthened by faith. With the cross on our banners, we faced an army the world called invincible, and broke it time and again. Last summer, we reclaimed Acre, the jewel of the coast. We sank the Sultan's fleet, and in the forests of Arsuf, we met his army head-on. Then we took back Jaffa, then Ascalon, and something changed in the enemy's eyes. The Muslims' troops exchanged rumors of this red-clad Christian king. They began to say that he had supernatural powers, that no matter how outnumbered, he could not be beaten.
Okay, so we're going to stop there for now. That is one of the opening sequences. I thought that turned out pretty darn good. So and somebody said they wanted to ask questions in between the clips, so that is perfectly fine. So if you guys have any questions, and Sam actually pointed out that he gave a shield to me, and that was that's an awesome shield, Sam. It's actually hanging in my living room. I would actually go downstairs and grab it so I could show it, but my wife is in the middle of getting the kids in bed, so I don't want to, if anybody who has kids will understand exactly what I mean by that. I don't want to disturb that process. You want to make sure it happens. So, okay. But thanks so much for that, Sam. I know I have shown that awesome shield on camera before. So, and we got King Baldwin of Jerusalem in the house, and he is giving his seal of approval. So that's pretty good. That's not bad. Chris wants to know what does episode 2 cover? Well, it's kind of it gives a little bit of an overview of the Third Crusade, and it kind of focuses on the Battle of Jaffa. It sort of presents it in an artistic way. Obviously, we couldn't show like a full on battle scene, but it does kind of convey it in a way that I feel is pretty darn creative. We're gonna actually look at a little bit of that shortly here, and then let's see here. And Welsh Muslim Dave says it's interesting. For some reason, I never thought about the fact Crusader graves would be buried in sand. As shown in my mind, it would be in soil. I mean, it kind of would depend on where we're talking about, but wherever these battles were happening, I mean, there were going to be people buried, and exactly what those graves looked like, I mean, there's some question about that for sure. But I think it looked really great. Who was doing? Remind me, our friend who did a lot of the visual effects for that, Austin. He's been awesome.
Yeah, it's Victor Hernandez. Victor
Right,
has been in a lot of projects in the music video space. He's well known throughout. We're currently in Los Angeles. He has a really great reputation for some of the studios around here. He's kind of like the low key, guy you call for some VFX help. So he's been very helpful.
Yes. So huge thank to Victor for his work. Again, he's kind of somebody who believes in this and just wanted to be a part of it. And, I mean, that's just been awesome. I mean, we really appreciate his expertise. So that's my first clip I wanted to show. Let's jump ahead to the next one I was wanting to get to. Let's see. I want to get some of this. Okay. So let's
The big offer. My king.
My God's cows will never take the Christians! The sea was rough that morning. The king's ships hit the shore fast, no hesitation. Richard was the first to leap, straight into the surf, axe in hand. We followed, just a few hundred of us, against thousands. The beach was crawling with enemy troops. They thought we were mad. We fought hard, side by side. Step by bloody step, we pushed them back. I saw it with my own eyes. Saladin's men shouting in fear, dropping their weapons. Richard is here, they cried. And then they ran. Even Saladin, watching from his tent, couldn't believe what he saw.
All right, so we'll stop there again. This next clip with Saladin and his brother, I actually made into a short, so you guys can check that out if you want as well. But yeah, so again, some of Victor's really great visuals there. So what went into some of that, Austin, that we were just looking at? Like the
oh wow, a lot. So I don't know if anyone knows, I directed episode 2, so it was quite an experience. Oh, thanks Welsh Muslim Dave. Yeah, so episode 2, what you saw was a bit of different scenes from Southern California. So that was a real boat. We didn't CGI or run VFX on that. And then we shot off the coast of Malibu. So if you're familiar with Malibu, California, we shot there, and there's a really cool scene with a cave. I don't know if you want to share that scene, Joe, when the monk is fleeing the city and going underground. But yeah, so what went into that was mostly great storytelling. There we go. Yeah, look at that. Malibu has wonderful caves, by the way, if anyone's curious. So yeah, the city is burning, and then the monk escapes and sees Richard's boat from the ocean, and yeah, he actually swims in the middle of the ocean. So I don't know, the reason why we wanted to have that scene, because Jay was sharing a story with us about that actually happening in history.
Right.
And we've never seen it on camera before. So it was really, to tell you the truth, a little behind the scene knowledge. The actor didn't really want to go in the water. It was really, really cold that morning. But I was like,
California
you gotta go.
beaches, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it turned out really good, great. And it's really tough to film in California. So it's a miracle that we actually got some approved and permitted to be there. So it's really grateful.
Yeah, just touching on that, that is a part of the historical record of the Third Crusade, is that when Richard arrived with his small fleet outside of Jaffa, they saw that Saladin's banners were flying over the city, and Richard thought that the city had fallen to Saladin. And what had actually happened, though, was the city had basically fallen to Saladin, but the citadel was in the hands of the Christians still. They were kind of like holed up there trying to defend that position. And so they realized that, okay, well, the king is here, but he may think that it's too late. And so a priest was able to get out to the water, and, we're not sure if he ran across the beach or if he was able to somehow, jump into the water from a fortification or something, or what the situation was. But he swam out to one of the boats, and one of the boats was able to pick him up, and they took him to Richard's boat. And he basically said, sire, the Christians are still holding out in the citadel. And that was what Richard needed to know, because then there was a chance he could save the city. So basically that line is actually from one of the Chronicles, where he holds up his axe and shouts out, "By God's calves," which was Richard's favorite exclamatory line, I guess you could say. He said, "By God's calves, they'll never take the Christians." And then he did his incredible beach landing with, a couple thousand guys, and cleared the beach of Saladin's army. So, that stuff is in the historical record, and that's, that's what makes this such a cool story. And it's in the Christian and the Muslim records. I mean, so records that were totally independent of each other. One of Saladin's chief members in his entourage, Ibn Shaddad, who was, a very high-ranking member of Saladin's entourage, who documented Saladin's career, he talks about watching this happen, like watching Richard and his knights charge the beach, and he was just completely stunned by this. And so, it's not like, okay, well, the Christians say this happened, but I mean, the Muslims confirm it, so really good stuff. It's the kind of thing that definitely deserves like a big budget treatment. And that kind of goes to this question here from King Baldwin. Do you think Hollywood will ever touch the Crusades again? Too taboo a topic?
I could answer that.
Yeah, go ahead, Austin.
Yeah. So King Baldwin of Jerusalem, I take meetings all the time. So every big film distributor you could think of, I've reached out to. And, the good news is, in Christian Hollywood, they love it. They love this series. The only problem is that we got complaints about, and we should have thought about it, Jay, is they wanted it into a movie. So that was the big hurdle that I'm going through right now. The good news is the big film distributors, they want to see the analytics, they want to see the data. So when the show does come out on the big streamers and the data supports it, I wouldn't be shocked if I get a call from Disney and say, hey, we want to do a reboot of Robin Hood, and we want to use, Knights of the Cross as a slated project. So I don't know. The answer is we're getting a lot of notice. A lot of people know who we are. But it really depends on the viewership. If a lot of people view the show, I don't know if you guys know, like Breaking Bad in the very beginning, didn't get a lot of views, but it kind of became a cult classic as it grew. But I think as Jay's reputation grows and our reputation, I think we would be open to the idea of a Crusader film. A lot of people from, this is a long-winded way of saying there is another company out there. There's a show coming out on Daily Wire called Pendragon Cycles. And we've got a lot of heavy hitters on that show who want to join us to do Crusader projects. So it's not like actors don't want to join us. You know, on episode 2, we even had Muslims that want to be a part of this project. They read the scripts. They loved it because it was true to history. The problem with Hollywood, King Baldwin of Jerusalem, is there is certainly a financial attack on Christianity. And so they will do whatever it takes to disrespect or not tell the truth of history. And I can confirm that right now. I mean, this money is like, it literally, it takes some guys like us. We kind of said this at the Catholic Talk Show. It takes some country bumpkins, Christians, to kind of rally behind projects and say, no, this is what we want. And that was the whole point of the crowd fund. You know, if it wasn't for, Jay's audience, this show would have never been made. So I think what we're doing right now, organically, grassroots, I think this is the best what we can produce with what resources we have. But will Hollywood come in and make a Crusader tale that is going to be true to history? The question is, we don't know. We don't know. But what we can do, how movies do work, is private financing, like what we did, and then making the products and then distributing those products, and they can't touch it. So that was the whole point of making the show. Hollywood can't touch us when we're independent, right? Now, if there was Elon Musk who called me and said, hey, guys, I really love the show. Let's make a movie. Jay and I have been talking, and a lot of people want to know, what does season 2 look like? You know, and a lot of people are really excited about the King of France. Like, because I pitched the idea of Crusader King of France. And I don't know if Jay likes that idea, but that's something that a lot of people in our circle of media in Hollywood really want to tell the story about, which is
you're talking about Louis the Ninth, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it's a great story. I mean, it's like he got beat, but it is a good story. So okay, yeah. Patty Leather kind of asks a question on that note. Do you guys have an opinion on Mel Gibson's upcoming film on the Siege of Malta? Isn't that considered part of the Crusades? And yeah, I mean, it is considered part of the Crusades. I don't really know anything about it. I didn't even know that was like, this is the first time I'm hearing about that. So that's pretty interesting.
I knew about that. Yeah, I knew about that. I was actually with Mel Gibson a few months ago. I don't know if you guys know, we covered a red carpet. I met him in the morning and I met him in the evening. I think maybe his wife or a girlfriend, may be directing it. So it might be like a family venture. So I think anything that Mel touches is going to be gold. I mean, I love Hacksaw Ridge. I love his acting. I think right now where am I? November. I think he's filming The Resurrection right now as we speak. So in Rome. So he's a busy guy, and anything he touches, I can only imagine is going to be epic.
Okay. So let's watch a couple more clips from the show. You said you want to watch the cave scene, Austin, so let's go ahead and do that. Here we go. All right. So nice. And Sam says, if either of you ever want to do something with my reenactment group, let me know. Absolutely, Sam. And yeah, I feel like that's such a great way to do this kind of project is when you, get reenactors involved, and, that is awesome. So thanks again, Sam, for all you did to help make this show happen. And then there's another clip I wanted to show. Oh, and Chris says he'd like to see a movie series about Fernando III. That would be awesome. Yes.
Awesome.
Another
great, good. That's a great one. Yes. agree.
Another Crusader saint. So yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so there's one more clip I wanted to kind of jump into. I don't want to like show the whole thing, but
Go for it. Go for it. Just show it. Just show it. We're already here. We're gonna wrap this thing in November 15th. You might as well just share it. I don't mind. Do as much as you want.
let's show this clip here. This is
Saladin's advance shattered. The coast was secured and a fragile truce followed. Though Richard would never return to the Holy Land, his vow, his courage, and his unshaken faith echoed through the ages. He
I like
did
this
not
tips
live
here.
to see Jerusalem reclaimed, but his spirit marched on in those who followed. For the true crusader does not measure victory by lands held, but by faith kept and battles fought for the glory of God. The Lionheart sailed home, but the fire he carried would not be extinguished.
Okay, so yeah, that's kind of the part of the outro there. So all right, so those are the clips I wanted to put up. So yeah, anyway, let's kind of wrap things up a little bit here with Austin. I know he's got some family stuff going on. So yeah, I did put the links down below, as Austin mentioned, and if you want to check out what's going on and contribute to the kind of like the last stretch of editing this thing, which what does that involve, Austin? We're wanting to kind of like enhance some of the final bits of it or something like that.
Yeah. There's some really great scenes that we want to update, specifically in the beginning. We want to showcase. I know we're giving away, but the army that's invading the city. So that was something really dramatic, kind of to capture the audience emotionally. I don't know if you caught that. William. I guess I'm spoiling too much, but caught that William was actually one of our pivotal characters in episode 1. Hey, and in episode 2, he's actually dead. So he actually died in one of the battles. So it caught your attention that the gravity of the situation, one of our main characters had passed away, and just kind of gets you really involved. That a lot of people sacrifice, Knights of the Cross. Let's talk about that for a second. Knights of the Cross. What does that mean? I think I interpret it differently, but I think as men, as Christian men, a Knight of the Cross, meaning, we don't ask Jesus Christ to kind of take our crosses away from us. I mean, it's not like Richard's like, oh, take this crusade away from me, I'm going to go back home. No, he embraced the cross that we have. We all as men have these crosses in our life, whether it's health, family, all these situations. But I believe the essence of the show, Knights of the Cross, means, God, give me the strength to carry this cross, to do your will, not my will, to do your will. And I think that this is the whole point of the show. I think when we first started, Jay, Knights of the Cross just sounded like a cool title. Are we honest with each other?
Yeah. I'm trying to remember exactly how we came up with it. I mean, but yeah, I mean, I think it was, it's about what the Crusades were about. I mean, the Crusades were, this spiritually driven, these warriors who are also, kind of this monk-like spirituality. So yeah, that was what it was about. So, but anyway, continue with your thought. I want to derail that.
No. I just think like as we wrap up this show, I guess Jay and I have this bug to create more content, and we're meeting a lot of amazing Christian filmmakers out there and even big actors, reach out to us. The only setbacks that we're having right now is the financial fronts, getting investors involved. And that has always been a challenge in Hollywood. But I believe, if this show does really well and it, does really well on the big streamer, maybe the major streaming platforms, maybe there will be, we as a group, I think this is a sneak peek to everybody. Hollywood wants us to make movies. They kind of don't want us to make shows. And that was a lesson I learned recently. Had I known that, I think we would have pivoted. But I think going forward, we probably would make movies about the Crusades, just because that's what the industry wants from us. They want to see big blockbusters. They want to see, actors like Leonardo DiCaprio star in a Crusader film. The good news is, if there's enough people that are hungry for this, that like that Lord of the Rings, Tolkien vibe, a lot of men that like to watch the show, I don't doubt that we'll get a call from a distributor or a studio like Amazon or a new studio to produce more shows.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think that if these 2 episodes, make a little bit of a splash, or people, find it intriguing enough, yeah, it could lead to something else. I think that, for me, I mean, one of the things I feel like I learned just going through this process is, crowdfunding totally on its own, I don't know if that really is kind of the way to really get to where you need to go, because that just like leaves you with not enough to really do what you really need to do. So it's like you do need, I mean, as awesome as it is, like, people kind of coming together and making something like this, it's like you kind of need a couple of maybe bigger like chunk of change investors in there to kind of like, kind of get the thing going, kind of launch the thing really. So
3 million. That's what I was trying to say. A minimum of 3 million.
I think
to make some. That's a very healthy number for everyone to really make a very successful show. Or I'm sorry, a movie about kind of in the similar scope of Kingdom of Heaven. Seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously. And you would think that 3 million just to cover production. You have 1.5 going into production and 1.5 going into marketing. A lot of people forget about the marketing aspect of it. Without the marketing, we don't get our recoup. Our investors are super bummed out because they spent $3 million and they want to make $30 million. They want to 10x the investments. And some of these investors are gas and oil people. These guys are from Texas. These are big investors. And they look at us like a commodity, right? Movies are a commodity. So yeah, investors, they look at the numbers, and so they look at Jay and I like, okay, they made this show for X amount of dollars. It better make $1 million in streaming. So that's the expectations. But the reality is, you have to work backwards. And I think there hasn't been a Crusader show like this in what, Jay, 20 years? When was Kingdom of Heaven?
Well, yeah, Kingdom of Heaven was 2005. So yeah, 20 years ago.
About 20 years ago. So we'll see if there's a hunger, if there's a roaring audience out there. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's talk about Hollywood for a second, because this is my domain. I'm not a history buff. Jay is the history buff, but we all know the agenda that's going on in Hollywood. I don't need to repeat myself, but there is a big financial effort to push an agenda. And I think audiences are sick of it. And I hope that this show does do well. And maybe there will be an investor that says, boys, here's $3 million. Go make your epic Fernando III movie, and you better make it badass. That's what I want to hear. And it's funny because you would think, oh, these actors, they're so, a part of the agenda, they won't be a part of it. No, I mean, they secretly DM me and say, hey, you let me know when you got a next part, okay? And I was like, you got it, buddy. So don't think that, we want to make great masculine movies, but I'm praying, please pray that this show does do well, because I want to get the attention of these big investors to make a really dope masculine show. Who knows, if Netflix calls me and says, hey, here's a budget, let's do it, I'm not going to say no if they give us final cut. That's the fact.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I think the idea is definitely really awesome, and it's something I could definitely see exploring in the future when the time is right, when all the cards are lined up. But hey, we did something with what we had, and I think that we've got a couple of cool episodes that will we do have that. So guys, check them out in the links below. Kind of see where the project has ended up, and we'll go from there. There's there's a lot of stuff in store for Real Crusades history as a channel. A lot of cool stuff is going to be happening over the next year or so. So I'm excited about that, and we'll see what Austin does with Christian Channel. And yeah, there you go. Thanks everybody for joining us. And Austin, I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate all the work that you put into this project over the last few years. And yeah, good job, brother.
Thanks to every. Before we wrap, I want to thank everybody that's been a part of this. I know that without you all, this show would have not have been made. And we did our best, and that's all I could promise you is we did our best, and we fulfilled what we promised. This show was very difficult to make. Like I said, it really literally was a cross that we at the Christian Channel and everyone involved had to carry, and we're still carrying. So any financial support would be greatly appreciated, just to make the show just a little bit better. And we can't thank everyone enough. I mean, this is literally kind of our recap of a thank you. So everyone who's contributed, everyone has received their perks and will receive their perks before November 15th. And if you do want to support us financially, you could subscribe to thechristianchannel.com. I think it's like $4 a month. And that really helps. And it doesn't take that many of us to make a big difference. It really takes around 2,000 to 3,000 men to support, Jay and myself to really make some good impact. So overall, thank you to everybody. I believe we have just over 500 to 600 crowdfunders. So, hey, thank you. Without you, this show would have not have happened. I know I went on a tangent on the agenda, but Hollywood's crazy. But we tried to, we did our best, and we tried to stay true to history. And that's the point. And that's why so many of our actors, even Muslim actors, and, every denomination you could think of in the Christian faith, they wanted to support this project because it was true. And so I pray that we continue to have true history cinematic shows, and by God's grace and by God's calves, we could continue to make great films for you all. So thank you for everybody. This wouldn't have happened without you.
All right. Sounds good. So thanks, Austin. Thanks everybody for being with us. And Austin, we will talk to you at some point in the future, I'm sure. So that's awesome.
Amen. God bless everyone. Thank you so much for Jay for being a part of this journey, and we're happy we're about to wrap. So God bless. Thank you, everybody.
Absolutely. Okay. Until next time. Good night, everybody.